Well, good evening, Sigma Race fans. Tonight is a unique one, as it's going to be 600 miles around Daytona. Many thought it was crazy, others probably just happy to have another shot to race at Daytona here tonight. And who knows how it's all going to play out after 600 miles. We may have a big one here tonight, or if the last Daytona 500's any indicator, they'll make it all the way to the finish before they tear up half the field. And so, with no further ado, let us get to the starting lineup here tonight. Starting on the front row, you've got Brian DeBlanc and Braden Varga. Braden Varga, a rookie talent, looking strong this year, trying to fight Bradley Reim for that Rookie of the Year honor. Next row, you've got Guido Piano and the defending champion, Al Bunch. Eli the Wolf just recently got his first career win at the Bridge to Cup level. Still looking for a Cup race win, but starting strong here tonight in his Panasonic Jaguar alongside Monty Shangle. Daniel Pauls Jr. and Louis Trost. Jacob Shangle and Ewan Army. Andre Stefan and Lucas Holmes. Dalton Scott and Taden Berggren. Tyler Landa and Trevor Walker. Wyatt Wilkinson, part of the Project Roar campaign, having a one-off start here tonight alongside Nate Newman. Lynn Farrell and Tasha Wright, Chaz Chadwick and Kellen Relic, James Fireball Robert and Dave Steele Jr. Second in the points, and your defending Daytona 500 race winner this season, Bradley Reim, starting mid-pack here alongside John Hagan. Jack Ross and the 17 of Trevor Vaden, Kara Shangle and Rich Roy, Bella Fawn and Tom Cording, Michael LeBeau and Finley Herwig, Tyler Aspinall and Cam Jordan, Matthew Fastnot, Tristan Reams, Justin Daytune, Maggie Reams, Chris Harvey, and at the very back, Tyler Shangle starting deep here tonight alongside the 52 of John Brinker. As they get rolling on the exit of turn 4, the pace car will pull off, and we'll get rolling here tonight for 600 miles at Daytona. First of its kind. Sigma 600 is underway here tonight, folks. Maybe go grab a soda pop. Go get the popcorn broke out, cooking up in the microwave, air popper, deep fryer, whatever you want to do. Make up some snacks and kick back, as it's going to be a long one here tonight. Brian DeBlanc has the lead already off the early setup here. They are kind of slow getting up to speed here in Daytona, but once they are up to full speed, it's non-stop, high adrenaline speeds here at the Super Speedway. Eli the Wolf in the Jaguar up to second now. Daniel Pauls Jr. hasn't had that great of a season. He's up there running in the front half right now, perhaps looking to try and turn around a season that has been dismal. Many of these drivers looking to try and get up into the top 32 in points. And if we're looking at the 99 of Daniel Pauls Jr., he sits 58th overall in the points. And he's even started pretty much all the races this year. No, actually, I take that back. He's only made one start this year. The last race that he qualified for was the Super Speedway. So evidently, Jack Ross's team, the DRS Motorsports, have a Super Speedway package that's unmatched, as this is only Daniel Pauls' second start this season, both of which came at a Super Speedway now. His finish at Armory was an 18th. He's had to come out of the sprint qualifiers to make the main events in the other races, but have failed to qualify for each of them. So that's where you gotta love Daytona. It's always a game changer, the great equalizer. You might see some talented drivers struggle everywhere else, but once they come to Daytona, they are on a level just like the rest of the field. Here we got the 64 trying to make a move for the lead on Brian DeBlanc there. Jacob Schenkel in that JSR Genesis has a win on the season. Had broke through and won at Iowa earlier just a couple weeks ago. And now trying to take the lead here at Daytona. Wyatt Wilkinson cracking his way up into the top 10 here. Al Bunch is the meat in the middle of the sandwich there. 3 wide. Definitely don't want to be in that middle lane as much as possible, because that's where trouble tends to find you. Dalton Scott looking to take the lead. Tyler Land on that inside line, and Wyatt Wilkinson also pushing that 7 up to the front. It's crazy to think that this is only really our third legit super speedway race this year, and we have just got past halfway in the season. Different rules apply here in Sigma Cup Series at super speedway tracks. The AI are not very savvy when it comes to pit stops, so once we have green flag pit stops here tonight and everyone cycles through, we throw a competition caution, and that's so that we can get them bunched back up like this right here, fighting for the win. Crazy enough, it doesn't actually cause more cautions or wrecks. It just provides us with much better racing action from green flag to checkered. So just so everyone's aware that's watching right now, that is a standard in the Sigma Cup Series. And once green flag pit stops do come and go, we'll throw a caution to get them all stacked back up. Well, here we have Wyatt Wilkinson looking low on the 7. Is Wilkinson going to try to take the lead here tonight? His Project Roar program is good for getting a charter next year. So if he is able to beat Trevor Vaden heads up in the points, he will inherit a charter, which is that number 19 seat. And that's an impressive award for anyone. Even, he's a ARCA champion, a defending ARCA champion as of right now, because we haven't had the 2025 champion crowned yet. He has struggled in Bridge to Cup this year, but seems to have found his niche here in the Cup Series, running strong week in, week out on his one-off starts. So that number 19, Mr. Clean, Wyatt Wilkinson ride, looking strong again here at Daytona. You got Lynn Farrell right behind him. And even your Sigma All-Star race winner, James Fireball Robert, a few rows back as well. Bradley Reim trying to get by Al Bunch and capitalize on points gained here. Al stuck up on that high side. Bradley on the advantageous inside line there. And he's going to pick up a couple spots on Al Bunch. Dalton Scott, Tyler Landa, side by side at the front of the field here. Lynn Farrell, he's thinking about it. And they are 3 by 3 by 3, pretty deep at the front half of the field here. problem waiting, troubles waiting around every turn here at Daytona, and these Sigma Cup stars are very, very good at what they do to keep it clean and avoid getting in a wreck. Well, James Fireball Robert looking closer to the front of the field. Here we go. James Fireball Robert gets alongside Tyler Landa. Meanwhile, Bradley Reim getting closer to the front of the field, but following in tow is the points leader, Al Bunch. Those two are going to keep that points battle very tight, and Bradley Reim not able to get too far away from Al Bunch as he's continuing to stick around close there. Jack Ross also, as I was mentioning, his team seem to have something figured out, these super speedway tracks, and Jack Ross, Daniel Pauls Jr., they're both moving towards the front here. Perhaps a potential threat for a win here tonight at Daytona. Well, this is going to make that points battle a little bit easier to distinguish. With Bradley Reim moving up to the front, he's forcing the hand of Al Bunch here tonight to try and match his pace. Al Bunch still has not been able to find that inside line as he's stuck in the middle again here. Bradley Reim to the lead, gets the lead lap and a lead lap bonus point. This is going to get interesting. We'll see how long Reim can hold the lead. The more points, or the more laps he leads, the better a chance he gets at leading most lap bonus here today. And here comes Daniel Pauls Jr. looking to try and take the lead away from Bradley Reim. Just like that, we are 50 miles in to tonight's Sigma 600. 550 miles left to go. A lot of comers and goers here at the front of the field as Daniel Pauls takes over sole possession of the lead here on lap 21. Well, James Fireball Robert held the lead there for a little bit, and now Bradley Reim takes it back. Two teammates side by side there, 00 in the 99, Jack Ross and Daniel Pauls Jr. Man, there's a little bit of contact there between the team owner and teammate. Fortunately, nothing came of it, but that could have got ugly. Then we have Kara Shangle in the number 21. She's right there on that inside line, running in about 5th right now. She's still searching for her first win in almost nearly 2 years. 21 has had some pace. Even her teammates have gotten some wins, with Tyler Landa landing a win on at least one occasion. But the 21 has had a hard time finding victory lane since pretty much dating back to 2022. Her debut season, where she ended up with 1 win. So far, only 1 win to her name in her Sigma Cup career. And now she's stuck up in the middle lane there as Bella Fawn pushes her up a lane. Bradley Reim picking up where he left off here at the Daytona 500 in the 2nd race of the season this year. He had won the Daytona 500, the Crown Jewel event, earlier in the year, and seems to be maybe, you know, one of those different horses for different courses scenario. And he's definitely one of those horses that know how to run Daytona. Oh, and here comes Al Bunch now, trying to get the points advantage back in his ball court. Al Bunch has the points lead by about a 30-point margin over Bradley Reim. So it is high stakes here tonight. Al Bunch could potentially lose the points lead if he's not careful. Bradley Reim's already led a handful of laps. Al Bunch has not yet found the lead here tonight. But the storyline that blows me away here is Jack Ross and DRS Motorsports. DRS Motorsports, they have had an extremely dismal season. Jack Ross has been fortunate to have a charter this year and is locked in to just about every race. And he has been able to maintain a 44th in the points with 24 starts in 24 races. So not impressive. If you're one of 32 chartered cars and the best you can do is 44th in the points, you're having a bad season. And I think it has a little bit to do with logistics and maybe having a 4-car team. But they're trying to get things figured out, and it's just tough when you're trying to figure all that stuff out, and during an active season where you have to learn on the fly and adjust on the fly. They might get healthy here tonight, though. Struggling all year, but they may get healthy when it matters the most at a super speedway race where, forget about the fastest cars, forget about forget about the teams with the most money. These drivers, it's all about the racer on the line here tonight. There we got Kara Shangle making a move, trying to get up to 2nd here. Jack Ross stuck up high. Al Bunch stuck up high. Bradley Reim in the high lane as well. Here we got Michael LeBeau on the low side, trying to move up to the front. Mid-pack distance there. I'm looking and I see the 68 of Finley Herwig. An ARCA driver that qualified through the sprint qualifier last night. And here is Al Bunch's opportunity to try and lead a lap and get some bonus points here tonight. Looks like he took the lead that lap, and he gets the bonus point for leading here tonight at Daytona. But will he lead enough laps to get the lead most bonus here? We'll have to wait and see. It's always, it's the Sigma Racing Series, but it's Al Bunch's world, it feels like sometimes. We're all just kind of living in it. It's been one of those, stars that kind of came out of the woodworks, like a Jimmy Johnson who just goes out there on a tear, winning everything. There are many drivers still trying to crack the Al Bunch code, and we still haven't seen them completely crack the 81 code yet. But Bradley Reim's keeping it interesting this year. There's by no means, a walk-away championship. It's not a runaway train quite yet, but Al Bunch could go on a tear anytime this year and totally sink the ship. Here comes Ewan What Army. Ewan had the points lead at one point in the season this year, but has since struggled and faltered as of recent in the race points. Currently, What Army still managed to stay top 5 in the points. He's 5th, 189 points out of the lead. Now, of course, tonight being Daytona, that's often a carrot on the stick to try and get some of these drivers to build some points up that they have lost. And Ewan What Army hoping for misfortune on some teams that he can start building that, that gap, shrinking it back in his advantage. It's pretty tough when your competitor is the one right in front of you leading the race, leading the point standings. And green flag pit stops coming here on lap 32. So this is a very unique Sigma situation here. We will let them all figure it out on pit road, come back out, and once they re-emerge on the racing line, we will throw a competition caution to get them all dragged back together. Unless, of course, we get a caution, which wouldn't be unusual, but it seems like there may be some cars running out of gas here trying to make it to pit road. Oh, and there's your caution. And it's going to be the 22, Trevor Walker, the 90 of Tasha Wright. We kind of caught that one on camera right as it was happening. Tough break for Tasha there. Nowhere else that she could have really gone. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I do think that the 22 might have run out of gas, and that's what slowed them all up here. Yeah, he's out of gas. He's dead stick. 34 collects him. It's very minor, but still damage nonetheless to a couple cars there. For whatever reason, they did not decide to throw the caution, so we will still throw the mandatory competition caution, but we're going to wait till all the leaders have pitted. No way, Bradley Reim's out of gas. This is not normal, folks. We don't usually have... I wonder if bumping the race distance up to 600 miles kind of threw the AI off a little bit here tonight. Bradley Reim is simply coasting. He might be lucky to make it to pit road here. Well, folks, this is unexpected. Unique situation, as always, in the Sigma Racing Series, that we get some weird stuff happening once in a while. And tonight is no exception. Braden Varga got in a wreck here, it seems, under caution maybe. Oh, they're piled up. Oh, and that is a gnarly big one here. Well, not all of them are going to make it through clean here tonight. That ship sailed. Big one as the 9 goes front flipping across the other cars here. You just don't see a wreck like that usually. That's a wild one, folks. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of cars that are not handling very, very well here after that. Already 2 confirmed retirements, the 51 of Tristan Reams, the 35 of Dave Steele Jr., 64 of Jacob Shangle, the 77 of Tyler Shangle. And, well, look at that. Al Bunch, it looks like, is going to be 43. Well, what's happening right now is everyone's trapped a lap down based on how that caution fell. Meaning the 43 is on a lap all of his own at the moment. And the pace lights still have not turned off on the pace car. Well, it wouldn't be a Sigma race without something wild happening. And 40 laps in, we're waiting for this race to get restarted. The AI are not sure what they're doing. And the game crashes? No. Okay. 30 cars on the lead lap. 2 cars that are stuck a lap down, unfortunately. Pace car is off. We're going to get rolling here on lap 40. Back under racing action here tonight. So we had the big one early with a big pileup on the back half of the racetrack. And we got a whole bunch of cars that are not very happy after the damage. Sigma officials are going to enact a pretty strict rule on speed here tonight, making sure that we've got a safe racetrack for the ones with clean cars. Looks like we're going to have about 20 cars that actually have a clean car. Oh no, Jack Ross is blowing up from top of the field here. The 00 blowing up and trying to get to the apron. Sigma officials are they're going to throw the caution here. Oil down on track. It's a wreck waiting to happen. Blown engine from poor old Jack Ross there. Tough break. 00 is looking stout here tonight, but it's all for naught. Oh, wow. Finley getting a cheap pit stop out of the way here. When the blown engine, he knew that that was an opportunity. He's dips down road, gets the caution to save him. He's taking some extra time to get the adjustments made on the 68. 91 as well. As long as he beats them out from the pit road here, he'll be able to stay on the lead lap. Yeah, that'll be staying on the lead lap for sure. Dude, what the heck? Yeah, Sigma officials are going to keep their eyes on the field after the damaged vehicles, making sure things will stay a little bit prim and proper here. Toughest part is how long it takes under caution here at Daytona to get around the track. Seems like we end up wasting more time under caution here than we are racing at the moment. And John Hagan is your leader. Second place, Michael LeBeau. Third place, Daniel Paulus. Fourth, Chris Harvey. Tom Cording's a lap down, so we'll go ahead and wave him around. 45 of Tyler Aspinall, fifth. Al Bunch, sixth. Monty, Dalton, Kara, and Tayden Bergeron rounding out your top 10. Finley fell a lap down, so he's in 29th at the moment. But extra gas, couple sets of tires, maybe even fresher than the rest. And that should get us back to everyone on the lead lap. Next driver to join the retirement list here tonight is none other than the 00 of Jack Ross. Retired with him is John Brinker, Guido Piano, Nate Newman, Tyler Landa, Tyler Schenkel, Jacob Schenkel, Braden Varga, Dave Steele Jr., Maggie Reams, Tristan Reams, and Justin Daytu. John Hagan gets to start up front, but his car's a little bit worse for the wear after getting rear-ended here tonight. The lights are off on the pace car, and we should get back and rolling here. John Hagan might very well be a sitting duck from the lead. Probably will get overhauled. Hopefully that doesn't bring out a caution with the slow car leading the way. Misguided missile, Michael LeBeau, the number 44. Daniel Pauls Jr., Chris Harvey, and Tyler Aspinall. All five of these drivers looking for their first career. Well, the top four looking for their first career win. Top five looking for their first win on the season. John Hagan's going to be a sitting duck here. That car is not going to get rolling. It's going to be a tough restart for the 88. He's kind of like a polar bear in Texas. Didn't really make sense how he ended up here, but he is here right now leading the race. He's going to get a lead lap point, lead lap bonus, but that's probably where it's going to stop here tonight. These drivers, they are trying to get a very prestigious win on their belt here tonight. Daytona is always one of those tracks you want to get a victory at. And unfortunately, we've already dropped about 10 cars out of the race, and maybe even about 10 more with damage that'll keep them from winning the race here tonight. That still means we've got about 25 cars capable of winning this race here tonight, and someone's got to come out on top. If you've been able to get out of the way of the wrecks tonight, you're lucky. Consider maybe buying a lottery ticket or something, because you're still in it to win it. And that's all that matters sometimes, is staying alive, fighting for that win to get the big cheddar at the end of the night. Yep, just like I called it, John Hagan not able to get rolling here. That 88 is a sitting roadblock, as our leaders are going to have to work their way around him here. Looks like Michael LeBeau taking the lead with Chris Harvey and Al Bunch right behind him. Taden Bergeron trying to move up from 10th to 5th in the matter of one lap. He's going to be right there knocking on a top 4. Your leaders have kind of broke away from the rest of the field at the moment, as things have gotten strung out with the slower traffic holding everyone up here. Bradley Reim trying to move back through the field. Definitely got some comers and goers now. Yeah, John Hagan is about full 10 seconds off the pace here. We'll have to wait to DQ him after he gets around to all the leaders, lead lap cars. Al Bunch takes the lead here tonight. Again, leading the way. Same song, different verse in the Al Bunch universe. And here's where we have pretty much our healthy field of cars still capable of winning the race here tonight. About 10, 15 cars in the mix. Al Bunch, Taden Bergeron, Michael LeBeau, Daniel Paulus, Monty Shangle. Hasn't seen a lot from him this year. Chris Harvey. And even Wyatt Wilkinson now sneaking into the front picture here. Pole setter Brian DeBlanc moving through the field. Wyatt Wilkinson just turned the fastest lap last time by, so he's trying to look for a little bit of opening to get to the front. Woofty, the 69 blew her up. Blown engine on Lynn Farrell. And we are under caution again. It might have been a wreck from the 69 that... Dude, he grenaded that thing. The 69 didn't just blow up, it exploded. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's a very unique experience. That 69 exploded here tonight. Since that is a pretty quick and easy caution, we're going to go ahead and drop the pace laps here so that we can get back racing sooner. But in the meantime, folks, go ahead, take a bathroom break. Just stay tuned as we get things reset here for the next restart shortly. I'm going to take a minor commentary break here. Alrighty, we're back and rolling here at Daytona. A lot of these cars definitely off to a slower roll here tonight after the damages they've sustained, but it looks like we've got about 20 cars capable of running with the pack. So anywhere farther from 5 seconds off the pace is going to be grounds for disqualification here tonight. If you cannot meet a adequate race pace within 5 miles an hour or 5 seconds of your fast time, then they're getting the axe. I'm impressed here with Michael LeBeau leading the way. We'll let him get one lap up to speed, but wait one more lap here. Unfortunately, it looks like Tasha may be on the chopping block here. Lucas Holmes is 3 seconds off of his fast time. Tasha is 5, so I'm sorry, Tasha, but we will have to send you packing so that we can keep the track clear of some of the slower cars. 29th, though, tonight is still better than 43rd. That's for sure. Lucas Holmes, he's lucky that he's still within 3 seconds. We'll keep an eye on him, too, to make sure that he doesn't dip below any further off the pace. Wow, look at that. Moving up to the lead. It is Finley Herwig fighting for third. Knocking on the door of second. Here he comes on the inside of Michael LeBeau. Brian DeBlank, not Bradley Reim. Bradley Reim's at the back of the pack here. Brian DeBlank, your pole setter, back to the front of the field here. He's under attack by Finley Herwig, who's looking to lead for the first time here tonight. Finley falls short of leading the lap there, but he's hunting. He's letting those dogs hunt at the front of the field. He gets the advantage here on the 85. Good push from the 56, it seems like. Man, we are in for a long one still. 183 laps still remaining. This feels like an extreme marathon here tonight at Daytona. Is Finley going to be able to lead the lap this time? We're going to be close. Brian DeBlank. Oh, if that was a photo finish, it would have been one. And the 68, Finley, ends up getting the lead on that lap. Lucas Holmes has dropped. His lap times are not looking good. We're going to have to disqualify Lucas Holmes here tonight, as his lap times have dropped to nearly 5 seconds off the pace. Amazingly enough, these four here still within 2 seconds of their fast time, proving that the rear fender doesn't matter on these cars. They can still roll pretty smoothly without the full car for aerodynamics. Yeah, 20 cars strong. We had 43 strong at the start of the race, and then fuel mileage and stuff started throwing us a curveball here tonight, where everyone started dropping like flies, causing pileups of massive proportions here. The fight is on for 20 cars and another 180 laps here at Daytona. Which is still another 450 miles of racing here from Daytona. If we can stay green, this race could go a little quicker. We're still looking at about somewhere south of 3.5 hours here tonight for the race, as it took us 1 hour to get 150 miles in. Shoot, yeah, we're looking at almost nearly 4 hours here tonight. Brief pause here, folks, as I save a recording of the first segment of the race here tonight. We can actually check those stats for you right here, Finley. So tonight you were starting. Oh, wow. So apparently my tracker does not remember qualifying positions tonight. That's not usual. Usually we've got the qualifying position showing up on there. I want to say he qualified about 28th, actually. The 68 had qualified, wow, 34th. So deep in the field here tonight, fighting at the front of the field. Well, just like that, Wyatt Wilkinson to the front of the field with Trevor Vaden right behind him. Wyatt Wilkinson's going to hold the lead here for a little while and actually starting to stretch it out on the rest of the field as he's got about a 4-car length advantage over second, third, and fourth. Bradley Reim's making his move back through the field here, fighting up into fifth. Al Bunch stuck backwards in the middle lane there, still struggling. Here we have Monty Shangle looking to try and take the lead away from Wyatt Wilkinson. The Fords seem to have it figured out here tonight. Ford has been one of the tough break teams, manufacturers of the year, with no wins and barely any top 5s and top 10s to show for. And just like that, you got Monty Shangle, Daniel Paulus Jr., and a few others fighting for a win here tonight in the Ford camp. Here's to hoping that our lead pack knows when to pit here tonight so we don't have any more shenanigans like that last round of green flag pit stops where everyone started running out of fuel. That would be a sucky way to determine the race here tonight, is to burn up too much gas on a super speedway. That shouldn't even happen. Honestly, at a super speedway, you should be pretty much on the spot when you need to pit, because you're just going to allow the rest of your competitors to drive away with fresh tires, full tank of gas once they pit. When one guy pits, you might as well all follow suit. This is unfortunately getting a little too close for comfort for our leaders. No hard feelings, folks. It's just name of the game for the best racing that we can try to provide the fans here tonight. Obviously, they were going to be struggling to stay on the lead lap, and unless there was another wreck here, and I'm hoping we don't have any more wrecks, hopefully. The only way they were going to finish better than their running position was if a wreck were to happen, and chances are the wreck would have been them taking out the other half of the field here tonight with the lack of speed that they have from the damage. So that didn't take long for us to get pretty much back to square one with all the damaged cars now worked out of the order here. 20 cars strong for the fight to win it here tonight at Daytona. This race could have gone one of two different ways. It could have went pretty much caution-free all the way to the finish, or it could have been the big one early. Well, we got the big one early, and that still doesn't mean that we're clear of the big wrecks here tonight. We could still have another big wreck. 20 cars is plenty of real estate to get in a wreck here. But cooler heads might very well prevail now, as things will kind of start making a little bit more sense. You can start making strategy calls and figure out where to put yourself for the final push at the end of the night. 3 cautions here tonight have really slowed up the pace a little bit, but it looks like we're getting back into another nice length green flag run here, which could very well transition into green flag pit stops again at Daytona. Monty Shangle leads the way over Daniel Pauls Jr. and Tom Cording. I'm going to get those two mixed up all night long, I think. As you look at the field that we have left running here tonight, Monty Shangle looking to get his first win this season. Daniel Pauls Jr. looking to get his first win. Wyatt Wilkinson is a rookie. ARCA champion, Bridge to Cup rookie this season. Getting a one-off start here in the number 19. He could potentially go to victory lane in Cup before he goes to victory lane in Bridge to Cup. As Bridge to Cup season dwindles down, it seems like his next step up on the ladder is coming here to Cup full-time next year. So, short-lived tenure in Bridge to Cup, but his ability, his skill set is very important to get up the ladder here in the Cup. So, we'll see what Wyatt Wilkinson's got in 2026. Behind that, you've got the 91 of Cam Jordan looking for his first win this season. Andre Stefan, Chris Harvey, and I want to say Taden Berggren. Yeah, Taden Berggren has not yet won in the Cup Series, so he's still looking for his first career Sigma Cup win. He's come close so many times. Runner-up finish. You might start thinking of him like Sheldon Creed with so many runner-up finishes in the Cup side of things. Eli the Wolf right there behind him, looking for his first career cup win. Just finally broke out and won in the trucks, or rather bridged a cup, I mean. Bella Fawn still looking for her first career win. Michael LeBeau and Finley Herwig. And that gets you pretty much back to square one with all the drivers. Oh, and Trevor Vaden there in the 17 looking for his first career win. So a lot of drivers still alive here tonight that could potentially be fighting for their first ever Sigma Cup victory. Alrighty, pit stops happening again here tonight at Daytona. Currently, I'm trying to look through the stats of the previous years. We're doing something this year that we haven't done in quite a while, where we actually go to the same track twice in one year. Daytona used to be a staple that we would go to twice in a year. And I'm trying to figure out how unique of a scenario this could be for Bradley Reim, who had won the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Could he potentially become the first driver to sweep Daytona on the season? So far from 2010 to 2016, both Daytona races were a wild card winner on each occasion. So far I haven't found stats that agree with my theory yet, but I'm still digging, still looking, as it continues to be a trend all the way to 2017 when we still had 2 races at Daytona. I'm thinking 2018 is about the last season that we had double of any of the race tracks, because it had been about then where we were cutting it down to 1 race at a time. In 2018, it was 2 different winners. '19, I think, marks the first official year that every track we only visited once. Very different the way that schedule sets up. July of 2019, yep, 1 race at Daytona. So Bradley Reim looking to be the first driver to ever accomplish a feat, an extraordinary feat that has never been done before. And that would be winning at the same track, sweeping the track, a lot alike the way Kyle Busch would do with Busch and Cup on a given week. This would be the same series. It'd both be Cup wins if Bradley Reim could somehow win it here tonight and sweep the week, sweep the year of Sigma Cup racing at Daytona. Uh-oh. Oh no, the one of Ewan What Army got crumpled up at the back of the field. Must have been during pit stops here on the trip down pit road. Oh, that's going to be the 17 of Trevor Vaden. He was trying to hit the brakes, and the brakes did not want to listen. Kellen actually was the one. Kellen had missed the brake point there and clobbered the rear end of the number 1. Damn, the 43 is able to stretch it further than anyone here as he waits nearly 5 laps longer than everyone to pit. Holy cow, he still hasn't pitted. No, my bad. He did pit. He finally got sorted in with the leaders there. So this is where we will throw our Sigma competition caution. It's going to be a quickie caution, just like that last one that we had. Everyone's still on the lead lap, so this will just get everyone bunched back up for another restart here tonight. Well, we're back in racing here at Daytona. 91 laps complete here tonight. Your leader is Cam Jordan with Finley Herwig sitting there in second. Eli the Wolf running in third. Michael the Misguided Missile LeBeau running in fourth. And Wyatt Wilkinson running fifth. Still have 23 cars left running here tonight. This green flag stint is going to put us to halfway in tonight's event, as they should be pushing about lap 120 by the time they start pitting again. Some trends that we've been seeing is obvious ebb and flow of race traffic from the lead to the back. Laps led have been pretty much scattered all the way across the board. Every driver pretty much left running, except for 4 of them have led a lap here tonight. That is an insane statistic. Just about everyone gets a lap led here tonight. Chris Harvey is not led yet. Matthew Fastnot hasn't. Tyler Aspinall has not. Trevor Vaden and Kerry Shangle, along with Ewan Wood Army and Kellen Relic at the back. So more like 7 of them. There's still a chance for them to get up there and lead a lap here tonight. Led most so far belongs to Tom Cording with 13 laps led in the early running here. And just like that, Finley Herwig back up to the front of the field leading here tonight. So yeah, Bradley Reim would be pulling off a tremendous feat that no one else has pulled off in Sigma Cup history. Daytona used to be a staple that we'd run twice a year, and every time that we ran it twice a year, there'd be a different winner each visit in that consecutive years. So we'll see. Still a lot of racing here tonight. At least he's still alive fighting for it. Taden Bergen on the low side. He's going to come front center and lead that lap. Yeah, that second round of green flag pit stops really made the first round that much more of a head scratcher here tonight as to why everyone was running out of fuel. This second round of green flag pit stops, our lead group here knew pretty well when to dial it in to make the pit stops. So just a fluke deal early on tonight, starting this race where we had some folks run out of gas and cause big pile up carnage and crashes. I'm just glad we still have half a field here to fight for the win tonight, and it's really anyone's guess. You know, this is that game of chess. While the other cars end up wrecking out tonight, might have been playing checkers. These are the moves being made by the drivers to set themselves up for victory tonight. And leading the lap here may not amount to a whole much, but if you can get up front, get a feel for the air, that should help some of these drivers later on tonight when they need to know how to get to the front and what it feels like so they know what to expect. Just like that, Andre Stefan's blocking 3 lines of traffic. He's testing something that might be a winning strategy there, trying to block the draft as it's coming at you behind you. But there we have 95. James Fireball Robert gets alongside the 56, looking to take the lead away. Al Bunch dipping down low. That's going to be nearly 3 wide for the lead. But the 95 closed the window. I'm impressed with you and What Army, able to hold on with the damage on the number 1. He hasn't fallen off the draft, but you can tell pretty distinctly that he is struggling here with the damage on the number 1. This next lap is going to be mile marker number 250. The halfway point if we were at the 500-mile race, but it's only 250 of 600 miles here tonight, so not quite halfway. With 20 more laps. No, and they're spinning out from the mid-pack there. Oh, and we got another big one, looks like here, folks. It's going to take out the second half of this field. Oh, boy, oh, boy. It is not Daytona without a little bit of chaos, a little bit of carnage and destruction. And as they roll around under caution here, it's looking like we might have less drivers alive for the fight. Heartbreak for Kara Shangle. She had nowhere she could have gone. Brian DeBlanc took Trevor Vaden for a ride. Tom Cording, who's led nearly the most laps here tonight, took some hard hits there. Yeah, Brian DeBlanc just clips the 17's rear fender there, spinning him out. Kara hits him hard. Also getting collected. It looks like the 68 of Finley gets a little bit of damage. 42 gets rear-ended by the 87 of Kellen Relic and then comes back up into the outside wall. And Kara actually took a full-blown tumble there. Rolled over one full circuit. As we've got a higher bird's eye view of the wreck here. 21 with nowhere to go. Tom Cording, nowhere to go. Finley Herwig, nowhere to go. Tough break here, folks. I would consider that the miniature big one here tonight. And we're going to have a whole slew of them coming down pit road. Don't have any retirements yet from the wreck, but we're going to see some drop off here, I believe. Some damage repairs are going to be done. 21 Akara, I think she's done for today. Yep. Tough break for the 21 team. Lucky break for the one of Ewan What Army, who's got damaged vehicle as it is. He's going to pick up some more spots here tonight no matter what. Finley's going to continue on, as is, it looks like, most of the others as well. Now, it's going to get to a point here tonight, if we have any more wrecks, that everyone's going to be involved in a wreck at some point. So the damage may be noticeable, but it might not be the ultimate factor in deciding the race win here tonight, as some of these cars are probably all going to have some form of damage by the end of it. And so who's going to be able to race the best with a damaged car is really what it's going to come down to here. Bradley Reim managed to stay out of any of the drama there, keeping his car clean. This next restart's going to get a little ugly, I feel, as you're going to have a mixture of cars that are clean and totally damaged here. Lights should turn off on the pace car this time. Yep. They're going to get doubled up on the backstretch. We'll get back and rolling here tonight with only two additional retirements now. The 50 of Tom Cording and the 21 of Kara Shangle. Half the field has been officially eliminated here, while the other half still continue to run. Well, we're starting to see that the damage has not slowed everyone all that much down. As it looks like we still might have about 15 cars capable here tonight. The restarts are going to be crucial tonight, getting in line and getting up to the lead draft. If you lose that lead draft, you're going to be on a slow roller coaster backwards. I'm amazed at the number one with how much damage he's got. Ewan Wood Army's still looking like a baller here tonight in that number one. Finley trying to catch back up to the tail end of the lead draft here. He's struggling a little bit, but it ain't going to be the end of his night. He's just going to need a little bit of luck and a little bit of perseverance to catch back up here. Dalton Scott looking to try to get up to the front of the field now. 3 wide with Monty Shangle and Wyatt Wilkinson stuck up on the high side. Sorry for Belafonte. We're going to have to DQ her with the slow pace that she's rolling with. Car is not happy. Whoa, Eli the Wolf is next in line. If he can't pick up his pace even a little bit, he might be on the chopping block next. Wow, Daniel Paulus running 17th. So we're starting to see a lot of the good cars struggling a little bit here in the late run. Unfortunately, Eli the Wolf out tonight. He's going to finish with a 20th disqualification to keep the pace rolling here tonight. And 17 left running, roughly 18, 16 or 17. Oh, we're still not at halfway, but we're getting close. So this is the point in the race where you're just going to be in survival mode. Finley is pretty well safe as long as he can keep it above 5 seconds off. You know, without going 5 seconds slower than his fast lap, they ain't going to be a disqualification for some of these drivers here tonight. As you can see, they're running about 3 seconds off the pace, but that's still decent and doable. These guys, on the other hand, have fallen off as well, and it looks like they're going to have to be saved by the caution bell later down the line here tonight. Well, we've had a couple big wrecks here tonight, and not very often do you see this few cars left running in a cup race, but it is that way here tonight after, I mean, honestly, we were able to make it 33 laps at the start of the race without a caution, which is impressive, that these cup drivers were able to keep it clean for 33 laps. And then we didn't see that next wreck really up until just shy of halfway. So kudos to the drivers for putting on a show here tonight. It's still been some great racing. Sometimes with great racing, unusual circumstances unfold sometimes, and that's exactly what happened here tonight. Three wide for second, 3 wide for third. They better be careful here not to cause another wreck that could take out pretty much the 10% that are left running. We've seen the wreck happen in quite a few different spots on the track here tonight. We saw Brian DeBlanc take out one of the other cars right there on the front stretch. Not a very normal place to wreck here at Daytona, but they figured out a way to wreck there tonight. Andre Stefan leading the way. That would be a wild, odd pick. However, behind that you got Dalton Scott, Monty Shangle to list a few. Taden Berggren, Wyatt Wilkinson, and Al Bunch. Al Bunch trying to move back through the field here, try to get back to the front where he once was, leading the way. That points battle is going to get a little tighter here tonight if Al Bunch can't finish ahead of the 78, Bradley Reim. But as they run right now, he is running in front of Bradley Reim, beating him at the moment. 13 cars in this lead pack as the rest have fallen off the draft at the moment. Bradley Reim still hanging on by a thread at the back of the lead draft here. Sometimes it's all you got to do. You got to just hold on for dear life and hope for some lucky breaks. And he could still get one of those lucky breaks here tonight as long as he's still running. Wyatt Wilkinson definitely showing some muscle here tonight. He's been able to avoid the drama, the carnage, and the chaos. And here he is fighting in the top 5 for a win tonight. Your defending ARCA champion and a Bridge to Cup regular this year that has gone winless here in 2025. Wyatt Wilkinson would just love to get a win this season before heading into the off season. 3 wide at the lead is Dalton Scott, Monty Shangle, and Andre Stefan duke it out for the position. Dalton on the low side gets the advantage on the low line, and the gap has given him a good advantage over the 38. Now the 81 of Al Bunch, a manufactured teammate. The Jaguars stick together usually, and they're hard to beat. As they come across turn 4 here, now it's going to be halfway in tonight's 600-mile event. We have put 300 miles down on the track, 300 miles left to go, 120 laps remain in the race. Well, just like that, the 68 Finley Herwig about to go a lap down here tonight. But as I mentioned, we're going to give him a fair shake. He gets to stay in the race here, as we've already disqualified more than enough drivers here tonight. As long as he doesn't cause a big wreck, we'll let him roll. But there's no guarantee that this could still end up in an ugly wreck here tonight. We don't have near as many cars to really factor into a big one, but leaders are going to work their way around the lap traffic as Wyatt Wilkinson now trying to fight Al Bunch for the lead here. Well, we've got more green flag pit stops happening already here on lap 132. Al Bunch has pretty well held serve here tonight, dominantly leading. He has now led 19 laps tonight. That ties Andre Stefan with 19 laps led as well. So we got two drivers with led most lap honors at the moment. Chris Harvey jumps to the lead here during pit cycles. Wyatt Wilkinson exiting pit road now. Looks like Harvey might be the last guy to pit. So once he pits and everyone gets around him, we will throw that competition caution here tonight during our next round of green flag pit stops. It has been a wild race so far. Unpredictable and full of chaos. Well, by golly, Chris Harvey, it looks like, is going to retain the lead even after pit stops here. And we're under our competition caution yet again here tonight. Be another quickie. We'll be back to racing here shortly. Alrighty, back to green here on lap 137. 103 laps left to go here tonight. Chris Harvey out front with the lead right now. Tyler Aspinall in second. Matthew Fastnot third. Michael LeBeau still running stout here tonight. And then your all-star winner, James Fireball Robert, also in the mix. Wyatt Wilkinson not going away. He's still up in the top 10 here. Brian DeBlanc, Dalton Scott, Taden Bergeron, Monty Shangle, and Bradley Reim even. We've definitely got past the hard part of this race here tonight. It's going to kind of be figuring out the moment to make your moves and get up to the front for the win here now. Like we got about 13 cars with at least pace to win the race. Al Bunch dropping backwards here as he's stuck up on that high line. He's at risk of falling backwards with Bradley Reim in the picture, not too far behind. They're going 3 wide for positions across the front of the field here. This could get hairy. 3 wide with Wilkinson in the middle, Al Bunch in the middle, Taden Bergeron on the low side, Dalton Scott on the low side. Three by three. Here we are fighting 12 cars in a pack, all of their own. This is where even someone like Finley Herwig, as long as he can survive, you just wait a minute. If this whole pack wrecks at the lead here, it's going to come down to a battle of who's got... Oh, there's a blown engine by Bradley Reim. The repeat is not going to happen here tonight as he blows her up. Very familiar fashion of that other blown engine we had here tonight. That's a tough one. As a car that had speed to fight for the win here tonight, Bradley Reim just up in smoke. Tough break on the point side of things as Al Bunch is still out there running. Bradley Reim's going to sacrifice a lot of points here tonight with the blown engine. Well, we have another brief intermission here, folks, as we'll get reset for another restart here shortly. 7 cautions into the night. Only 20 laps under yellow. But we'll get this all sorted and back racing soon. Restarts are definitely a little bit on the wonkier side here. Finley is lucky to get another spot with the retirement of Bradley Reim. So this, this race is just getting a little bit more wild as the night goes on. Finley Herwig restarts right in the top 10 this time, which is unusual. I don't know how that shook up. This might go to show you that Finley ain't out of the mix. Not by any means. As long as the cautions fall in the right way, he could still get this. Once they get up to speed, though, it's kind of, it's a little harder. Once the other cars get up to speed, they just blow right around him. But it's not over until it's over. Bradley Reim is credited with 19th here tonight, meaning we only have 18 cars left running. Chris Harvey doing a really good job holding the lead. He's now on 9 laps led. Al Bunch still has the most at 19, tied with Andre Stefan at 19. Matthew Fastnot still has 0 laps led here tonight. Matthew looking for the lead now. He goes low on the 12 of Chris Harvey. Those are a pair of Hondas fighting for the lead right now. One is Fastnot Racing Enterprises. The other is LFG Motorsports. Behind that, you've got Dalton Scott in the Thunder Buddies Racing Jaguar, alongside the Cording Brothers Motorsport Chevrolet 95 of James Fireball Robert. And now there's 11 at the front of the field. 11 car breakaway from the rest of the slower traffic. Secondary groups kind of starting to establish themselves as a larger group there. But even if there's slower traffic, doesn't mean they can't somehow manage to get a better finish here tonight. Somehow, one way or another. We are down to 74 laps left to go tonight. Knowing the pit windows at about 32, if they can make it to about lap 64, 66, they will be able to make it with one more stop after that stop. But that's going to be a stretch, I feel, getting to lap with, well, getting with 66 laps to go might be hard to do. Competition cautions, though, are definitely going to keep things close, and it might shake things back up a little bit, erasing any fuel mileage concern. The second group is actually stronger now in numbers, as they have not fallen far enough back to get put a lap down. So that secondary group maybe making some repairs each time they go down pit road to try and fix those cars. But don't count them out by any means. If this group up front, your top 11, end up wrecking out, the bottom 7 could still be a threat here for a win. As we're down to 70 laps left to go here tonight. It has been a long one, folks. We're almost closing in on the 500-mile mark. Currently, we're at the 425th mile of this race. Definitely a tale of two different halves of this race. The first half was a lot fuller and a lot more cars fighting for the win. Second half, not as much. Quite a few cars knocked out, and the ones that are left just making it by little, trying to stretch it out to the finish. All your leaders here are going to have to go about 4 more laps to make it cozy on a singular stop left after this one. They might just make it to that mile marker anyways, and we'll be sitting pretty. At the moment, Dalton Scott leads over Taden Berggren and James Fireball Robert. Led most laps here tonight. Still teetering around a couple drivers at the moment. Al Bunch has 22 laps led. Andre Stefan with 23. So Andre takes the cake at the moment, but there's still so many laps for some of these other drivers to get up there with Andre Stefan and Al Bunch with that lap total. well. We've got takers down pit road at lap 66 left to go. 65. This is almost good enough. Matthews a little early, though, on the undercut side of things. And our secondary group, it doesn't look like there's but one taker. That would be the 17 of Trevor Vaden. So now we're on watch here again. Once everyone pits, the comp caution flies. Pretty sizable group leading on the second round of pit stops. Everyone's going to have one more pit stop after this one. It's going to be tight, but they should be able to make it on one more stop. Well, here we go. Next competition caution gets everyone bunched back up here tonight. Alrighty, back and rolling here tonight at Daytona after our 8th caution of the evening. Al Bunch is stuck back in that secondary group, and that's going to slow him up a little bit. If he loses this lead draft, that could be problematic. He's stuck with a few fast cars here in that back half that could lose the lead draft. That could be a deal breaker there. Amazingly enough, the one of you and What Army seems to have found the draft at the front of the field. Amazingly enough, that one car has been through it all here today, and he's still fighting for a win. These restarts are really a game changer, it seems like. Sometimes the cars wake up a little differently depending on where they start in the lineup. And now you got different drafters working with different partners. It's different ball game now. Dalton gets back up there. Al Bunch still stuck in the depths of the deep end, trying to climb his way out. Wyatt Wilkinson on the inside, looking to try and take third away. What Army not giving up. He's going to soldier along, trying to get as much momentum as he can rolling here before they get too fast. .58 laps remain here. Three wide for third place. Wyatt Wilkinson in the middle with Tyler Aspinall and Chris Harvey side by side with him. What Army using that to his advantage here. Al Bunch is now no longer part of the lead draft. That is a big time change here in the running order, as the 1 has kind of swapped places with the 81. Damaged vehicle and all. We've seen the likes of drivers do this before. Atlee Weiss used to get his car tore up every time and find his way to victory lane. Could you and What Army be taking a page out of that book here tonight with his car totally demolished? The 87 of Kellen Relic was the one that rear-ended him here tonight. Kellen's still running, but barely. And there we got Al Bunch joining the party. Didn't take long. He didn't lose the draft, but he was almost going to lose that lead draft there, the way things were going. The rest of the field better be careful not to let him get around, or else they may not be able to get back by him. Monty Shangle, Taden Berggren, and now Tyler Aspinall trying to go 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide now for second. Taden holds on to the lead as Monty Shangle slots back into second there. These drivers are racing a little bit out of control at the moment as they're getting 3 by 3. Could be a wreck waiting to happen around the corner. Taden might be in the safest spot running at the front, away from the crazies in the background there. Brian DeBlank still in the mix here tonight. Your pole setter, he's been up and down all around, but now fighting in the top 10. Trying to move up little by little. Monty Shangel's going to get the lead away from Taden Bergeron here. Bergeron falls back into second. Tyler Aspinall bumps the 43 there to take over second. But the 43 keeps that position. Al goes way low. He's going to try to make it 3 wide for about 10th place there. Three wide again for the lead. Dalton Scott almost looked 4 wide. Michael LeBeau thinking 4 wide maybe. They stay 3 wide behind the leader, Tyler Aspinall. Aspinall has not yet won this season. He's looking to try and get back to victory lane where he once was last year. Michael LeBeau simply looking to return to the series that he once ran a couple years back. Can't quite remember off the top of my head if he's been to victory lane. I almost feel like he's probably been at least once. This is probably the tightest that we've seen him running at the front of the field in the second half of the race. Drivers best be careful here to not cause a big pileup and take out the rest of our contenders here tonight. Al Bunch digs low here. He's going to try to go for a top 5. He gets inside the 85 and the 12. That's for position up to 4th. '85 had wrecked someone earlier this spot in the track here. Al Bunch, be careful not to make contact with the 85 as they do stay 3x3x3. Ooh, Al Bunch might get pushed up high. And Wilkinson not able to get alongside of him, but definitely getting interesting here at the front of the field, folks. Here we go, Monty trying to take the lead away from Tyler Aspinall. Al Bunch on the low side alongside Michael LeBeau. Wyatt Wilkinson drafting up to the back bumper of the 81. And we're going to have the 17 of Trevor Vaden working his way back through the lead lap traffic here. And just like that, Al Bunch trying to get right back to the lead again. 38 laps to go here from Daytona for the Sigma 600. And I'd be lying if I was saying I'm not tired. This is a longer race than I'm used to too, and I'm getting the late race sleepies here, as that would have been 500 miles in the book. Now we got 100 miles left on the docket. So with the fuel mileage, they should only have to stop one more time here tonight. But when is what's definitely going to decide the factors in this race here. That secondary pack is a lot less distinct this time. It's actually kind of scattered. Yeah, there is not a single-handedly second pack, as everyone's kind of lost touch with each other there. Oh, and that is a caution on the field. That is a mechanical failure. The 99 with a flat tire. And we'll be back under caution here with 35 laps to go. Tough break for Daniel Paulus there. Flat tire forces him to retire to the pits here for now. What was a little bit wild was the leaders, when they caught him here, I don't know if they knew what to do. That's weird. Well, led most laps is, it's getting tight, folks. The top 4 drivers have all led 22 or 23 laps at the moment. Dalton at 22, Al Bunch at 22, Tayden Bergeron at 21, and Andre Stefan at 23. We could possibly have a a split between multiple drivers on led most laps here today. Obviously, then that bonus would go to as many drivers as it is led most laps. Yeah, this is the danger zone. Pitting here with 35 laps to go. We might have folks that run out of gas before the end of it here. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see. Well, your leaders are getting off to one big head start advantage as that second group is stuck behind the slower You and What Army. I don't know if this is going to pan out or not, because if they get too far out ahead, that draft may kind of dissipate. Oh boy. 43 and the 56 are pitting now with 32 laps to go. Maybe a strategy move. But now you really only have two cars out there on a they're all alone up front. That's oh, and now slower traffic's going to come out in front of him. Man, this just turned into a wacky race here at the end now. More dropping down pit road. Wow, what is going on here? I think the AI are uncertain about making it to the finish here. I don't think Al Bunch or Dalton Scott have enough fuel to make it. The ones that just pitted are going to have enough fuel to make it, though. All in the meanwhile, the likes of Finley Herwig's almost up to a top 10 here with all the drivers swapping positions. Dalton Scott's pitting now from the second position. So all these drivers, they knew that they weren't going to be able to make it to the finish, and they're starting to show their hand early. Dalton pits with 29 laps to go. Al Bunch continues to stay out, though. What in the world is going on? Finley now up to 11th. Al Bunch is about to get swallowed whole by the secondary pack that had fallen behind him. Al Bunch still holding on to the lead. Taden Bergeron's going to have enough fuel to make to the finish as he just pitted. We've got people exiting pit road, throwing curveballs left and right here. Al Bunch leads, but Monty Shangle's on the attack. That inside line looks like it's going to be Monty getting the lead away from him. But who else is going to pit before the end of the race here to make it to the finish? That's the grand question of it all. Lap sled now belongs to Al Bunch at 25 laps led here tonight. Led most for him. Dalton Scott had 26, so Al Bunch actually one shy. And with the loss of the lead to Monty Shangle, it may not be as easy to get that lead back for Al Bunch. Al Bunch is going to go low here, try to force it 3 wide with the lead. He's going to go below Monty. Monty's going to lead this lap, but Al Bunch has the inside advantage. And they're packed in there like sardines right now. The 43 just trying to hold on to the lead lap at the moment. If caution were to come out, the 43 would be the lucky dog regardless. But it would be easier for him if he can hold on to the lead lap in front of the leaders there. Well, Al Bunch is going to get his one extra lead lap here to really secure led most laps for the moment, tied with Dalton Scott. If he leads one more lap, he'll have the most by 1 lap over Dalton Scott. Finley might be playing the slow and steady race, saving that fuel to the very, very end here. If everyone else runs out of fuel, Finley might just be coasting to victory. So, well, can't get too far ahead of ourselves. Kellen Relick's in front of him. The fact of the matter, though, Finley is not burning as much fuel because he ain't going near as fast. 48-second laps versus the 46 and 45-second laps. They also do have the advantage of the draft to help save a little bit of fuel, but we'll definitely see how this all pans out. I am not sure how it's going to shake up yet. Yeah, that late race caution really threw us off our game plan here tonight. It was looking like we could make it to the finish without any fuel mileage hassle. But now fuel mileage is very much in the name of the game. "20 laps remaining here, folks. 20 to go. Al Bunch is trying to hold on to the lead here. James Fireball Robert on the inside. Whoa, 3 wide at the lead there. The 56 of Stefan pushes on the inside of the 95. 95 starts to close the door on both of them, though. 81 still hanging around on the outside. Lap traffic in the mix coming up. Monty Shangle, Dyson, and Slicin. And they fall back into line 2 by 2. How hard is it going to be getting around the 99 here of Daniel Paulus Jr. as they've caught him in the front half of the racetrack. I'm still kind of amazed at how early some of the drivers pitted. They didn't even give the race a chance to try and save fuel. They simply decided, hey, I'm going to pit because I don't think we're on the winning strategy to stay out here. And so it could bite them in the butt if Dalton Scott doesn't get everyone else running out of fuel here. He'll be trapped a lap down in what would be about a 13th or 12th place finish. Meanwhile, the 68 of Finlay Herwig is holding on for dear life on the lead lap right now. He's 3 seconds off the pace. The leaders are going to close in on him rapidly. He's holding on to 11th, but 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, they're all right there in the lead group. So he would fall back to 15th once they get by him here. But then he would be in the mix fighting those ones for the win. So as it sits right now, if everyone else pits, Finley stays out and stretches it all the way. Those would be basically a top 5 finish for him. So there's a lot that could pan out here still if everyone else is running low on fuel with 15 laps to go. It's a Hail Mary on Finlay Herwig's end to try and at least recover a finish here tonight that may not have been in the cards. It's got to go green to the finish though, and we got to see that fuel mileage kind of factor in. There's really never a good time to catch lap traffic at super speedways. You just kind of have to tread carefully around them. Finley's going to keep the lines blocked off here a little bit. The 45 decides to drop low. 68 decides to stay high. Now with the lead draft helping Finley, he can maybe try to stay in the mix here. But if fuel mileage does factor in, the win is probably looking like Taden Berggren or Tyler Aspinall here, who have enough fuel to make it to the finish. Or at least one attempt on a green-white checkered. Wow, at the moment, it's going to be Wyatt Wilkinson and Michael LeBeau leading the field. Wow, but it's Fastnot actually, my bad. Fastnot still on the lead lap, still trying to save some fuel. It's Fastnot, LeBeau, and Wilkinson, 1, 2, and 3. LeBeau goes low. He gets into the 09. They kind of touch. The 04 or the 90, the 44 didn't get too far below the yellow line. The 09 has to go way high. 11 laps to go. Whoa, they're almost 4 wide. Wyatt Wilkinson with 10 to go leads the way as the pack gets all bunched up. Dalton Scott's a lap down, so this is really no threat for the win at the moment. Wyatt Wilkinson can let him by. And then the 85 of DeBlanc would be for position, so Wilkinson might be careful letting that 85 get alongside of him, as they are the most bunched up that we've seen them here at the end of the race. This could be a wreck waiting to happen, taking out the remainder of our competitors tonight. Wyatt Wilkinson's going to lead back-to-back laps here, holding that position over Brian DeBlanc and Michael LeBeau. The misguided missile holding on to second. Now it's going to be 3 wide for second place as the 95 of James Fireball Roberts knocking on the door now. Wyatt Wilkinson's going to try to drive around Dalton Scott on the outside while all these other positions are fighting behind him. Dalton's kind of keeping the show spoiled here at the moment, keeping the lead traffic behind Wilkinson. 95 is going to go high, and that's going to be the wrong move. Or is it? 3 wide for the lead. Al Bunch takes a stab at the position. Wyatt Wilkinson gets shafted up high there. Wilkinson's going to fall back in line. 3rd or 4th here as Andre Stefan makes the move up into 3rd. Matthew Fastnot still very much in range of the lead here. But then we're going to start talking about fuel mileage here. Are they going to be able to go all the way to the finish? Is Al Bunch going to run out of fuel? Andre Stefan, Matthew Fastnot, James Fireball Robert, and even the 19 there of Wilkinson. Do they have enough? Can they make it to the finish? Seven laps remain. If I was anyone in a position to race for the win right now, I want to be on that inside line. If you're stuck up high, you're probably not going to be in the mix here. You need to get down low and start picking them off one by one. Six to go. How much fuel is in the tank? Andre Stefan is a lap down, so that is not for position. That's my bad for calling that. Stefan was one of the few that pitted to get some extra gas in the tank, just like Dalton Scott, who's in front of both of them. we got Monty Shangle pulling down pit road. Fuel mileage is the game, and it's getting ugly here. As 5 to go, we have people pitting. Al Bunch has the lead, but that inside line is opened up. Matthew Fastnot and Wyatt Wilkinson on the move. There isn't any takers this lap, but 4 laps to go. Anything can happen here. Mad Matt in second. Matthews come up short to get that first victory a few times. He did finally hit victory lane this year at Irwindale earlier in the season. And looking for maybe another win to help sweeten the pot this year. Ooh, we got some people dipping low here like they're going to pit. The 81's pitting, the 09's pitting. That's going to leave with the lead right now. The 95 of James Fireball Robert. The 45 is a lap down, but now Wyatt Wilkinson second. Is he going to have enough fuel to go to the finish? Brian DeBlank and the others, yeah, lap down. Tyler Aspinall's a lap down. No, the 19's got a pit. He's out of gas too. So James Fireball Robert, your all-star winner this year, and has a race win on the season. How insane is this, folks? Brian DeBlank up to second, and that's really about it. We've only got 2 cars left on the fuel run. Wyatt Wilkinson, unfortunately, couldn't make it to the finish here. Fireball, he's going to come around for lap 239 of 40. Of all the things, I did not exactly think this would turn into a fuel mileage race at the end of a 600-mile event. But here we are, folks. 596 some miles in. We're closing in on the last few miles here tonight. The 95 got enough fuel. He's going to keep it on the track. He's going to collect the white flag. White flag waving. His pace is dropping. He's down. The mileage is dropped. He is no longer under full pace. Nor is the 85 of Brian DeBlank. Are they going to simply coast to the finish line? How in the world did you plan it so perfectly to have enough fuel in the tank to coast it to victory today? Oh boy. How is this going to pan out? 43 is going to try to get around him. Is he going to wreck him? No, he's not. James Fireball Robert continues to coast under power, barely. He's pulling it down the pits. Is this a legal way to win the race? If you have to come down pit road, is that qualify as a win? He's not under full pace. He's out of gas. He's pulling down the pits. I don't think I've ever seen a race that the winner is going to be decided on pit road here. His pit stall is... What in the world? complete. No fuel. The race winner this is where it gets a little weird, because did he I think there's a rule in NASCAR that to be considered the official race winner, you've got to pass the start-finish line on the racetrack. This one might be up for debate, folks. Wow. They ran out of fuel on the final lap of the race, but somehow coasted it around. And I'm thinking they got the win. Well, there's always a first for something, folks, and Sigma officials are going to have their hands busy figuring this one out. I wish I had a definitive answer on what's going to be handed down here tonight, but I feel like there's some rules that are being slightly curtailed here in the grand scheme of things that did not get addressed. If you can't complete the final lap under your own power, then you should be into the longest line at that point. Wow. 600 miles and it turned into a fuel race. What a crazy night here, folks. There's going to be some heavy scrutiny here. Well, and I thought I was tired up in that point, but now I'm kind of amped up with that one, so. Alrighty. Well, I can't congratulate the winner quite yet until I do some deeper digging. Because the way you look at it, your pit stall may not be ahead of the start-finish line. If this race would have ended with them pulling into the first stall on pit road and it somehow granted them the win, that wouldn't be right. Nor was it right tonight that they passed the start-finish line in the pits. That doesn't sit well, really. So I'm going to convene with Sigma officials. We are going to decide tonight who actually won this race, fair and square, and go from there. So with that, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. Hopefully this weekend's fun for y'all. Try to go out enjoy what's left of summer as it's starting to get away from us again. But with that, I would love to wish everyone a great night. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this is